Just one question. The format that gets to the point. With Kai Magaldi and inspiring guests. Today with Claudio Sennhauser. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to a new episode of Just One Question, where we want to help leaders, experts and entrepreneurs elevate their skills in authentic communication and appearance. Before the pandemic, when we gave a presentation or went to a meeting, we thought about how we wanted to appear and perform there, right? And we chose the appropriate clothing, ironed the shirt, combed the hair, and thought about how we could convey our topics and presentations effectively, right? And today, many people open their laptops, turn on the blur effect, and the meeting begins. That is a missed opportunity to leave an impression that lasts. And why this is a missed opportunity, I want to discover today with Claudio Sennhauser. Claudio is a high-impact presentation coach based in Thailand, and he prepares, for example, candidates for an American Shark Tank, which is in Germany die Höhle der Löwen. But Claudio is also a renowned expert for online presence and appearance. I met Claudio last year in his podcast, The Zone, and you can check this out in the description below. And I was fascinated by the trailblazing online appearance. And so I contacted him, and what can I say? Claudio, welcome. It's very great to have you here.
Thank you so much, Kai. It's a real pleasure. And I'm always totally delighted when people reach out and say, hey, how are you doing this? And this is exactly how we met, right? You contacted me and said, hey, I saw this zone and you're doing some really neat things there. You're playing these games and give me a hint. How did you do it? And a couple months later, here we are.
Yes, and this was exactly my question. How do you do this? It's so exciting, yeah? But there's another thing, Claudio. I was captured from your slogan. I think it's on your homepage, on your website, the slogan, on-screen presence is the new business attire. I was captured by this. And let's break down this metaphor a little bit. What is on-screen presence for you, and what does it have to do with a business attire?
Yes. I appreciate this question because to me, I go back a couple of years when we were presenting on stages or in boardrooms and meeting rooms. And of course, the more important the presentation was, the better we wanted to look. And sometimes I even went out and bought a new suit just for that one big presentation that's coming up, because we all know, right? When we are in some new clothes, they fit us well, they are comfortable, and we know we look good. We get that extra boost of confidence. And when we started to move into these online meetings, that's exactly what came to my mind when I was sitting in Zoom meetings, and sometimes I was looking at people and I went like, wow, that's almost like they will go to a real meeting in the pajama or not combing their hair or whatever it is, right? And so to me, it was so obvious that, yes, our on-screen presence has become the new business attire. And just like with dresses or suits, right? You have so many choices. You can buy a suit off the rack, or you can go the designer suit, wear an Armani suit or a Hugo Boss suit, or even more, you can go to the tailor and get a custom-made, handmade, well-fitted suit. And it's very similar in the online presentation world, right? You can either go with off the rack, what you have built into your computer already, or you can go a little bit higher up and get perhaps a nice webcam, a better microphone, or you can go all the way to the designer suits with a fancy camera and a fancy microphone. It's limitless. But the end result is really that the better we look and we know it and sound in these online meetings, the more confidence we have, the more credibility we gain.
I like this very much, and came to my mind another picture or another image about this. The screen where we appear is like a stage, a little bit. Yeah, when we are in our bureau, for example, in our office, there are also a table. There's a table. There are some I don't know, things. We look, photographs, and so on. And what is left, right, and behind us is our stage, and we can pay attention on this too. Yeah, Claudio, can a powerful, I wrote this question because I think it's interesting, and I wanted to know, how do you think about this? Can a powerful on-screen presence influence the success of a business meeting, presentation, or even a job interview? What do you think? Do you have an experience in this?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Job interviews or any meeting that we have, right? If you leave an impression like you do in your screen here, you always look very, very professional. You sound very professional. And of course, that leaves a deep impression with some people, right? Because it just exudes that professionalism. You're sending a signal that, hey, I care how I show up in this meeting, and that sends an unconscious signal as well. So absolutely, yes.
Yeah. I think so too. And Claudio, I hear when I give or run trainings or talk with people, often they have a question about building trust. And yes, before first impressions, can on-screen presence also contribute to building trust and rapport in a virtual setting? What is your experience about this? I remember that you talked about this perhaps with another guy on your podcast lately.
Yes. It definitely increases your credibility. It increases the trust that people have. You're coming across as more believable. As a matter of fact, on-screen presence is not just how we are looking on the screen. Yeah. There are many, many components to it. There is the sound as well. And there are things like making eye contact with the audience, right? And so each of these elements, the video, the sound, the eye contact, and so on, they all play a part in the overall thing that we call an on-screen presence. Now, there was a study done, an audio study at the University of California, Southern California, where they took a lecture of a professor, and it was, a 45-minute, 1 hour long lecture, and they showed it to different study groups with degraded sound for each one. And then the listeners had to rate how credible the person was, how believable the person was. And not surprisingly, when the sound quality was degraded, the less quality there was in the sound, the less credibility was there. People found the speaker less believable. So these things, they play a role. And even though we might not consciously think about them, and we are not aware of, his lighting could be better, or her microphone is really not that good. But subconsciously or unconsciously, we do register this, and we make these decisions about, I like this person, I don't like this person, I find this person credible, I don't find them credible. So yes, it absolutely has an impact throughout. And I believe today, we are now 4 years into this predominantly online meeting mode, right? Where more than 50% of our meetings today take place online. And it's not going to change. However, when I look at the average Zoom meeting and see how people are showing up, I can clearly say that if you have a good on-screen presence today, you have a competitive advantage. It's almost an unfair competitive edge. And so, I work with so many people, and so many people come to me and they realize that, and they want to start to look better, sound better, and also control all the different elements better. Understand the software, understand the platforms that they're in, because all of that, again, if we know it, if we are mastering these kind of technologies, it gives us that calm confidence that comes across even on the screen.
Yeah. And Claudio, this reminds me, you have said a couple of weeks ago, within our conversation, I think, you have said, I don't remember exactly the word, but it was like this: you can still stand out in online meetings if you begin now, but later you will run after.
Right, yeah. Right. So today it's a competitive advantage. In a couple months, maybe 2 or 3 years from now, if you don't have a solid on-screen presence, if you don't master the tools, you are at a competitive disadvantage. There is no question in my mind.
Totally agree with this. And I catched one thing when we talked about the first impression and how we can build trust within a video call, for example. You predominantly mentioned the audio. Yeah, perhaps we can get to the technical aspects. Yeah, how can viewers develop a confident and engaging on-screen persona to connect better with their audience? And it's perhaps surprising for the people that you didn't talk about video, or camera first, but about the audio.
You got to start somewhere, right? And so for me, it's all of it is very important, right? Now, if I had to choose, do I want to have really, really good audio quality, video quality, and so on? I would first focus on the audio.
Yeah.
I would first focus on audio, because we seem to be more tolerant. Like we've all been in meetings where the image quality of the other person, maybe their network connection was a little bit slow, so the image quality was degraded. And we live with that. It doesn't bother us all that much. Yeah. But if the sound doesn't come through well, or there is a crackling in there, or any other, sound noise coming in there, it really is bothersome, right? So I think if I would have to put an order into which you want to improve your different elements, I would start with sound.
Yeah, I'm happy to say that you say that. Please go on. Go ahead.
No, it's sound and then light.
Yeah.
Light, right? Light.
Yes, well, I'm happy that you say this, because I don't know if I'm a little bit biased about sound, because I just talked a little bit earlier with my wife about this, about sounds, for example, the ambulance, something like this. I close my ears because it creates a pain within me. Yeah, I'm very sensible with sounds, but this is perhaps a bias, but as I understand, right, for many people, the sound is more important. I can easily follow a person if I understand the person in a proper way. Then, for example, the image is a little bit flu, or a little bit, I don't know, crispy, or crispy? No, not crispy. Pixel. Yeah, pixelized.
Yep.
Are there any resources to the viewers they can utilize to practice and refine their on-screen presence before important video interactions?
Well, I'm not aware of any specific resource, a website that I can point you to. I am building something of that nature right now. It's a new community. It's called Online Presenters. And this community, the goal is basically to take people into a comfort zone where they feel very, very comfortable and confident in their on-screen presence, right? But we are currently in a pre-launch phase with this program. We have a couple of founding members. You are one of them, Kai, that
Yes.
joined very, very early. And together with these founding members, we are basically shaping the community right now. And I expect to open the doors somewhere in August, September, maybe even October. So what else can you do? Where can you go to learn? Well, one thing is YouTube, of course. You know, YouTube is full of great, great channels, yours included, that give people tips about all elements, proper lighting, what kind of microphone should you choose, how, you know, every single aspect, right? That's one. And then, of course, watch the pros. On TV, for example, watch newscasters, right? How do they frame themselves? Because this is another thing that I see a lot where people are framed either too low, you know, they're like somewhere down here and have a lot of room up here, or yes, they are way, way up there and they're talking down on the other people in the meeting, right? So keep your eyes open, ears open, and all of a sudden, once you make that shift and you put importance on your on-screen presence, all of a sudden, you see everywhere, you see places where you can learn. And again, to me, YouTube is a treasure trove of unbelievable tips and guidance in how you can do it. So many people are just not aware that this is even an issue, right? So this is really the trickiest part, is to make people aware. Sometimes every single meeting that I'm in, you know, I see something, and then during the meeting, especially if it's a one-on-one meeting, right? They say to the person, by the way, you know that I also teach on-screen presence, and may I give you a tip or two? And then I tell them about, for example, the framing, right? I have this grid that I superimpose, that I use to show, you know, where do you want to have your eye line? About 1/3 from the top, right? And they see that and go like, oh, and immediately start to adjust their camera a little bit or move their chair up and down. And you can see the smiles in their face, and they go like, oh, yeah, this looks so much better. Thank you, right? So too often we are not even aware that we could actually come across on screen so much better.
Yeah. Exactly what you say. When I run some trainings, online trainings, it's not about online presentation or on-screen presence. It's about communication in general. And after the training or within the training, every time someone asked me, hey Kai, how do you do this? How do you make a scene change? Or how do you have such a crispy, clear background? And so to bring awareness to the people, it's one way, I think, yeah, to go as a role model, as a trailblazer, as a, I don't know how you can say it, but that's the point, yeah.
Yeah, indeed. You know, lead by example. Lead by example, and then a couple. If you are doing a workshop with 20 people, 1 or 2 will come and ask you, how do you do it? You know, and you show it to them, and they learn something. They will never forget you for this, never, and they will proudly teach it to others. So together, you know, we are all helping each other in that sense to level up and level up and level up.
Claudia, I want to return to, you mentioned the online community, and I'm really, can I say proud, but I'm happy, I'm at least very, very happy to be a member, and that you found this foundation, this community, because it's really, really helpful for every one of us. And it's spread a little bit the idea of a vivid online presence. So you said that perhaps in autumn you will open it to the public. So what can people do? Please give some 1, 2, 3 tips, advices. where they can start immediately to enhance their online presence. And then later they can join you in the online presenter community.
Sounds like a plan. Well, one place is certainly, and you can put the link of this. I can send it to you, or you find it on my YouTube channel. But on my YouTube channel, I have a couple of videos that are directly pointing to better on-screen presence, right? And sometimes, you have everything you need already to leave a tremendous impression. For example, so many people are using PowerPoint when they present in online meetings. And the way that they use PowerPoint is they share their PowerPoint slides in Zoom or Team. And of course, they, as a speaker, they disappear into the upper right corner and they become this postage stamp sized little image, right? And there's a feature inside of PowerPoint. It's called Cameo. And it allows you to put your webcam into the slides so that when you share the slides in Zoom, you could be part of that space that screen share is occupying. Yet so many people don't know about it yet. So I'll send you the 2 videos that I would encourage your listeners to go and watch those 2 videos. And after that, you're already gonna look better, sound better, and you will awe your audience if you're doing things with Cameo, for example.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Send me the links. I will put them in the description below. And when you mentioned this, Claudio, how can the audience find out more about you and your work, and how can they contact you?
Yeah, I'm of course on the web with my website. It's Sennhauser.com. And I'm also on LinkedIn. Exactly. If you can just put those links into the description on LinkedIn. I'm not all that heavy of a LinkedIn user. I check it maybe once or twice a day, but nevertheless, it's one of the platforms that, I'm at least on it at least once a day.
Great. I will put all the links in the description so that the audience can get in touch with you to learn more, and especially your videos. Claudio, one last question. If you had one wish for yourself when it comes to online screen presence or on-screen presence, what would you want?
I am quite happy and content with all the things that I have right now, the setup and so on. However, I am on it seems to be a never-ending quest of improving my audio quality, right? Audio, again, it's an important aspect. And I am in a room here that is not very, very well suited for or as a studio, right? It's very hollow sounding, it's echoey and so on. So if there would be one thing, it would be probably a carpet on my floor.
That's a great idea. But I don't hear any echo. It's a great sound. Yeah.
It's a lot of technology here. If you want, I can give you a very, very quick little taste of how it would sound if I use my built-in microphone. It would sound like this. So I am absolutely convinced that you would not be happy speaking to me longer than a minute on this thing.
Yeah. But and
so yeah, what I'm doing is I'm using technology here, a lot of technology to treat my sound a little bit. It starts with the microphone. I'm using a Shure MV7 microphone. It's a dynamic microphone that already is doing 80% of this. And then I'm also using a software called Crisp. And Crisp is an AI, how do you call this? A software basically that takes all of the background noise out and really just focuses on the voice that's coming in. And it's a great solution for me in this room right now. But like everything, you know, every coin has two sides. The downside of it is that sometimes you want to have some background noise. For example, when I clap, you don't hear the clapping. Yeah. You just see my hands right now, right? So it even filters out that, and that's a testament to how good this software is. Yeah,
Claudio, I'm very happy that you demonstrate the difference, because this could be quite interesting for the audience, to experience now really how important sound is. And this was a very valuable tip at the end. CRISP is the name of this software, or AI-driven software.
Yeah, with a K. CRISP with a K.
Great. With a K. Okay, I will put it in the description below too.
Cool.
Looking at the watch, I promise that we have in 20 minutes. We get to the point in 20 minutes, and we have some good tips. We are a little bit over the time, but I think it was good that we are a little bit over the time. Claudio, thank you very much. It was a very insightful experience talking with you, and I'm sure we see us in another episode, right?
I would love to, yes. Thank you very much for having me. A real pleasure, Kai, and see you in the next one.
See you next one. Bye-bye. And a last question to our audience. What resonated most with you in this current episode? Write your comments below and ask question. Tag us on social media. We see us in the next episode. Bye-bye, everyone.
Just one question. Thank you for watching. See you soon to get back to the point.